What up and welcome back. I'm BK and this is my cartoon life. Okay, the book wants us to short T and E1, which are these pins, and then check the check engine light. So we'll see what it throws after that. My plan today is to figure out why this car won't start. We're either going to get it running or we're going to know why. It's not some magical, mystical thing. It's nuts and bolts. It's electricity. It's physics. You know, we're going to figure it out. We're going to make sense of things and we're going to get it done. Okay, it's blinking now, but it's going to eventually stop, and then that's when we kind of start over. Here we go. 7. From what it looks like to me, we're throwing 2 codes, 7 and 11. TPS signal switch, which we already knew about, and it shouldn't stop it from starting. And then the new one is 11, which says something about moved into drive, or potentially it just says switch signal, and then they give a bunch of different references. So I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't seem like any of it has to do with the timing or anything has to do with it starting. So I guess we check the timing now. Been working out a way to do this solo, and I took the hood off because we're gonna have to, because I don't have a thing, I don't have a propper, and when this shakes, this will fall off when it tries to start. So we need the phone to kind of sit here so we can see, we need our camera to kind of sit here so we can see the timing. And then I just taped the light on the gun. I just taped the trigger. So I'm gonna set it like here, so it's like nestled, and then hopefully if we zoom we'll be able to see. Okay, let's see if we can get anything. It took me forever to finally get a shot that I could see. I still can't really tell, so I'm gonna take it to the computer and see if I can like frame step it. We might need to get the gun in a different position. It's just, yeah, it's just hard to see anything. Unfortunately, it's still super hard to see it, but we called in a summons. Edge is gonna come help us out, and hopefully we can figure it out. We missed it on camera, but we had it idle. It idled for like 2 seconds. So we're pretty sure that the timing is off, and we're trying to... Yo, so this clip right here is probably my single biggest failing as a YouTuber so far. So what's happened is I was actually on the phone with Edge while recording this. So we had started the car, and you're missing out on my genuine excitement. This is probably the first time in any of our videos that I've actually had like a genuine pop, and yeah, that's like kind of part of YouTube, and I didn't get to capture it. But we got the car started, and we're seeing here that it's got a lot of smoke, and trying to figure out why. And then I identify, actually hold on a second, keen observers will notice that there's actually a leak. So the good thing is the car is idling, and that's changing a lot for us, because now we're going to be able to hold the timing gun and see where we are. So right now we're recording some footage trying to get the timing mark. After we record this footage, we're actually going to go ahead and take it into Affinity and see if we can slow down the frames and figure out how close we are on timing. Okay, so we got it started. I lost audio on the clips for whatever reason, but as you can see, we're pretty much peeing oil, and it's coming from, we can see this, the bolt is drippy drip. So it's like up there somewhere. I think this is, I mean, it's even above that maybe? I think it's the, whatever this pump is. So this is the harmonic balancer, AC, and then maybe water pump, alternator. Well, I've been doing some forensic work, I guess. You know, like enhance. And I think I've figured out that we're actually advanced because we're looking at it from the perspective of the cams. So if you look here, you can see we have a red mark, a blue mark, and a yellow mark. So the blue mark is 10 degrees, then 5, and then top dead center. So it looks like we're somewhere like 25 advanced. So the internet says clockwise advances and counterclockwise does the other thing. Oh no. Counterclockwise advances and clockwise does the other thing. So if we kind of spin it clockwise a few degrees, we should see a difference closer to the 10-degree mark if our theory is correct. Having identified that we have a pretty large leak somewhere on the crank side, I don't want to keep running it, but I do want to test our theory and see if we can adjust the timing on the distributor. I think for our setup, spinning it down would be clockwise. So I think what's happening is it needs to build up oil pressure. Making game or something, and say you're like checking how high you want your character to jump, you always like test some normal variables and then you test like outrageous numbers so you can kind of see the range. And I don't know, now that we kind of know how this works, I kind of want to just like crank it in one direction, but I also, this is a physical system and I'm not doing that, so I think I'm gonna try to just turn it a little more again and get another shot so we can verify what we're seeing. Okay, third test. After this test, we should know if we're advancing time, if we're unadvancing or advancing timing. So it sounds worse. Okay, a lot of smoke and stuff is burning off. I don't know if you can see that, but it's good. It became easier to tell. I put the camera down and I was like moving the distributor while it was running, and then I could see the lines like blur and move. I kind of put it somewhere in between the first and the second line, and that seems to make it sound okay. But again, like I said, we're leaking oil from somewhere down here. What an absolute roller coaster of a day. I mean, I'm excited, right? I think we figured out and understand how the timing works, and the car starts and runs. Now we might have an oil pump issue. The reason I think that is because well, it's leaking from that area, but also it seems like it takes a few cranks to build up oil pressure. Once it has oil pressure, it wants to run, and does run. So I'm really like hopeful that we can replace the oil pump and we're good. But you know, there's a long road ahead of us. Tomorrow we're gonna do some more diagnosis to figure out if we can actually, if it actually is the oil pump, and then just kind of move from there. Thanks for hanging out with me. Today we had a huge win with our AW11, getting it started and running. We think we have the timing right. Let me know how you think it sounds. Although there's a long way to go, this is a milestone for us. What do you do between milestones to keep yourself motivated and moving forward? I appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow.